Namaskar. I Shambhavi welcome you all to your channel Galactic Echoes. So let's start exploring the wisdom of Vedic astrology. So today we'll be doing the placement of Rahu in the 7th house and what kind of results this placement will give you and what kind of results you should expect out of this. We'll try to figure it out today. So let's start the video and let's dive in. So with Rahu placed in the 7th house of your horoscope, the first and the foremost thing is that at your career front, you will see immense amount of gains, immense amount of wealth. You can accumulate wealth through your career, through your profession. And you can also get onto high positions at your career front. And why am I saying this? It is because the 7th house is 10th from the 10th. So 7th house Rahu really performs well in the matters of your career. Especially if your Lagnesh is placed in the 10th house, then this quality of the Rahu is more enhanced about the career front. The problem here with this Rahu is it comes from the perspective of marital life. Your spouse, because spouse is the living karaka, or your business partners are the living karakas associated with this Rahu. But the business partners are the people who are again, in some way contributing to your career front. So they won't feel the bad effect at a large. But the problem with the spouse will really pertain with this Rahu in the 7th house. Because a spouse is the main karaka of the main living karaka of the 7th house, and they may or may not contribute into your career front. Now if they are contributing, then yes, this negativity can get less. But if they are not, then there is where the problem can be there. So what kind of problems you may see? You can see health issues or decline in wealth or bad luck if your spouse is not in any way related to your career front. The other positive thing with this Rahu in the 7th house is that you can easily defeat your enemies, because there is where Rahu wants to behave like Saturn, and Saturn finds Digbal in the 7th house. So basically Rahu is really in a comfortable position in the 7th house. Although it will ruin this marital aspect of yours, but your career front will boom with this Rahu in the 7th house. Now, as suggested in the Lal Kitab, that the people having Rahu in the 7th house should not marry before the age of 21. So basically they should not marry young. But 21 is not the age of marrying today. So what we can take this statement in what sense is that you should not marry before the age of 36 years or 28 years, before your first Saturn return or when your Saturn matures. Now if this Rahu is ill placed, then you should wait till the age of 36 years. And if it is good place, you can get into a marriage alliance before the age of 28 years as well. But the placement of the dignity of the Rahu is really important with this placement. And by dignity, I mean in which sign this Rahu is placed. So if you are a Taurus ascendant and Rahu is sitting in the sign of Scorpio in the 7th house, then it is important for you to wait till the age of 36 years. Or it will also depend on the placement of Mars in your D1 chart. But yes, the pattern of this late marriage is seen with the people having Rahu in the 7th house. You can expect favors from your bosses or from your higher authorities at your workplace. You see, this Rahu is actually dragging you towards climbing that ladder of your career front. This is what Rahu is suggesting. And if you are marrying, let me tell you all, this is the fact with this Rahu. You see, you cannot expect good things and good morale out of Rahu. So if you are marrying, because of your career will get a boom from this Rahu with this marriage, then that is the greatest and the best thing you can do with this Rahu in the 7th house. You see, people having Rahu in the 7th house, if they go for a marriage alliance or even the partnerships, business alliances, which they think will somehow contribute to their work front, will actually positively trigger this Rahu in the 7th house. Because you see, you are automatically giving away those basic emotions of marriage out. You are not marrying for emotional security. You are not marrying for love. You are not marrying for maintaining a healthy family life. What you are marrying for is your career. So then this Rahu will really help you. And the negative karakas related to spouse will really, it will get into the declining mode with this Rahu and with this mindset of yours. So you see, you will get favors from your bosses, you will get favors from your higher position authorities. Why? Because this Rahu is actually pushing you towards doing better and better at your career front. You see, this is how we'll decode this Rahu. And if another planet joins this Rahu in the 7th house, there is where the dynamic can change. Basically, if Moon is there with this Rahu, then yes, your boss will push you towards doing great, but you'll think that, something is fishy here. Why am I given so much of work? Why am I the one only working till 10 p.m. in my office? But you are not, getting the idea that it is ultimately taking you to a better place at your career front. So this is something, the dynamics can change with the different planets and the sign the Rahu is sitting in. But the basic idea, the basic foundation will be, this only, that you will get favors out of your bosses, out of your higher position people at your work front. But how you will take it will be defined through the working of the whole chart. Also, with this Rahu in the 7th house, your business partnerships will only thrive after the age of 40 years. You see, 40 and 42 are the ages where you are moving towards maturing your Rahu. So I think the greatest of the business partnerships you will get after the age of 40 years in your life. And before 36 years of your age, if you want to do business of any sort, then you should avoid these particular things which are connected with Rahu. So these are electronic gadgets. These are wires, cables, business of any sort, security services of any kind, like, into policing something, or a security agency of your own. These things should be avoided, like, or metal related work of iron or steel. All these things should be avoided before 36 years of your age. If you want to start a business, you should go more towards the other things like cloth or food, so that this Rahu is not disturbed and is not negatively triggered here. You can often feel head related issues, that you are having a headache or migraines or that sort of thing, but they would also depend on the dispositor of the Rahu, who is the dispositor and where it is placed. Otherwise, this placement is good from the perspective of your health. Although we'll have to discuss Ketu in the more deeper terms, because it is sitting in the 1st house of your birth chart, and we'll do it in the Ketu video. But this Rahu is not the problem for your health. Also, sometimes people say that you are unfaithful in relationship, or you can be unfaithful in relationships, or you might cheat, or you might lie. But I would suggest that this is not the case with people having Rahu in the 7th house, because of the fact that they have been through, multiple relationships. First of all, the thing is this, and they know what the person is trying to do to them. That is why here this Rahu makes the person into more manipulator sort of a personality. Now, it is also written in the Vedic text that if you have Mercury or Sun, I must say, in the 11th house, then you will be manipulated by your spouse or either your son. But the thing is, you will be manipulated by them or other family members also. If Venus is there, then through the elder sister, or if Moon is there, then through your mother. But the thing is that that people are manipulating you, and you accept that manipulation because you are the master of the manipulation. This is something important. And if you use this manipulation at your work front, in your business partnerships, in a positive way, then it will pay you off. This is something which you have to understand. And if not, then this Rahu can again result negatively here in the 7th house. Now, there are some important things for you people having Rahu in the 7th house which you have to avoid. This is important. The first and the foremost thing is, you do not have to keep a dog as a pet at your home. This is really important. Now, people, I have seen people suggesting everyone that you have Ketu in your 1st house because you have Rahu in the 7th. So you must keep a dog at your home as a pet, but you should not. This can worsen your problem, because after the age of the dog, the pet will be completed, and is where the problem can be created in your life. But also we'll have to check the other planets in this Rahu Ketu axis of your first and seventh house. If there are other planets cancelling this out, then yes, you can have dogs as your pets. But if you do not have any other planets in this axis involved in this axis, then you should basically avoid having a dog as your pet. You see, if you are living at your parents' home and they are taking care of the dog, that is another thing. You see, you should not have a dog as your pet at your home. You should not be the caregiver. This is something important with this Rahu in the seventh house. The next thing which you have to take into consideration is that you should never accept electronic gadgets as gifts from your in-laws. So if your father-in-law, whoever you are, a female or a male, if your father-in-law or if your mother-in-law is gifting you a mobile phone, a TV, or something, a smartwatch, you should not accept it. This is important. The other thing which you have to note with this Rahu is that you should never wear blue color clothes in your life, like especially dark blue colors. And if your Saturn is damaged, then never wear blue color clothes in your life, or never purchase blue color items as well. Like if you have this, if the Saturn is the disposer, if you are Leo rising, and the Saturn is placed in the fourth house of your horoscope, so you should never buy a blue car. This can worsen the problem, so it is important. The next thing with this placement is that if you get a silver pot or a silver item in your in the form of gift from your in-laws, you should never sell it off. This is important. You should always keep it by yourself even in the times of crisis. That is where your luck is locked, with the silver items given by your in-laws. And in-laws are why in-laws are important, because Rahu has traversed the whole of the 8th house and then it has entered into the 7th house. So that is why in-laws and the 8th house is also important for this Rahu. It is because it is in a retrograde motion. We will talk about your personal personality in more deeper forms in the Ketu video, which I'll be bringing next week. So stay tuned for that, and do not forget to like this video and share it with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.